Falling deeper into pain in a relationship is because you are unwilling to admit that your partner is not good enough. There is a theory in psychology called contract disappointment. What does it mean? In the context of intimate relationships, it refers to having clear expectations for your partner's every word and action, and you assume that they must meet your expectations. Once they fail to do so, you feel that they have broken your previous agreement and violated your expectations. Then, the more you look at them, the more unpleasant they seem, and you even start to think you chose the wrong person. The essence of contract disappointment lies in your failure to achieve self-acceptance and awareness. Simply put, your self-deception and high standards lead to excessive expectations of your partner, making it impossible for you to feel satisfied in the relationship. There are 3 specific aspects to this. The first aspect is that when conflicts arise, you are always eager to get a clear answer and result. When you and your partner have a disagreement, you are particularly anxious to solve the problem, regardless of the emotional state of both parties at that moment. You need to understand that when we are emotionally charged, the emotional center of our brain is fully activated and takes a dominant position. At this time, emotions control our brain, and people are often irrational, making it very easy to say hurtful things and do irreparable actions. For example, your boyfriend promised to pick you up but was late, making you wait for a long time, and you are filled with anger. If you don't calm down first, the moment you see him, you will explode and blame him without restraint. However, if you give your brain enough time to step out of this stress mode and tell yourself that he was late because of traffic or some unexpected situation he had to handle, then after seeing the truth of the matter, you might not think his being late is such a big deal. Because when you try to solve problems with anxiety and anger, it often only makes things worse, igniting more negative emotions on both sides and leading to a vicious cycle. Actually, our inner nature has a sense of strength and stability, but it can only be observed when we are calm. Many times, the addition of emotions like anger, anxiety, and disappointment makes us overly negative about problems. When conflicts arise, give yourself time to calm down before dealing with them. You will find that things are not as bad as you initially thought. The second point is the inability to accept your partner's imperfections. In this world, it is impossible to find someone who matches you completely. Expecting your partner to be exactly as you envision and trying to manipulate or change them will only harm the intimate relationship. Forcing your partner to change according to your expectations itself reflects a lack of boundaries. Therefore, your idea of perfection is defined by you and controlled by your subjective perspective, which may not necessarily suit your partner. When your partner cannot meet your definition of perfection, you will inevitably nitpick and criticize them. Thus, even if you claim that you are making demands for their own good, in your partner's eyes, this perfection is filled with control and oppression. For example, when you want to take your partner to the gym, but they don't want to go, you might think they are lazy and unambitious because, in your view, going to the gym is for their health and their benefit. However, you haven't considered that they work hard every day and just want to rest during their free time. What you think is for their good is essentially just hoping they will do things your way to fulfill what you think is good. Everyone is an independent and free individual with the right to live their own life. Even in intimate relationships, a sense of boundaries should be maintained. Trying to deeply involve yourself in your partner's life and change them is essentially selfish and a form of control under the guise of love. The third point is having excessively high expectations of your partner. Many people have a misconception in relationships, thinking that because they are partners, they must be perfectly attuned to each other. They believe that without saying anything, their partner should understand all their thoughts and be attuned to their emotions. However, everyone has different levels of perception and different ways of expressing love. For example, if you feel wronged, you might hope your boyfriend notices your unhappiness, but he might be someone who isn't good at reading cues. As a result, you suppress your emotions in silence while blaming him for not being considerate enough. But silence does not lead to understanding. Expecting the other person to spontaneously notice our emotions and needs is essentially because you do not accept your own emotions and needs. Only when these emotions are seen and acknowledged by the other person do you allow yourself to express them. In such a relationship dynamic, you might initially endure because of the novelty, but over time, the relationship will become increasingly painful. If you lower your expectations of your partner appropriately and actively and courageously express your needs, the problem becomes much easier to solve. Communication is the channel for understanding and empathy. By now, you should understand. Accept your partner's imperfections, accept your own emotions, accept your own needs, and accept that many things will not go exactly as you expect. You need to cultivate a sense of tolerance, learn to enjoy the relationship rather than control it. This way, you will feel more comfortable and things will go more smoothly in any relationship. If you enjoyed this series, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your free likes are the greatest encouragement for me. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.